Welcome to War Thunder with Subdude. How y'all doing today? Well, let's talk a little bit about the upcoming patch. Now, a lot of people have been looking through and they've been finding maps that, oh my goodness, this is a new map. Well, they found the Moscow map. The problem is the Moscow map was in the game before. And for some reason, and I'll tell you the reason most likely, Gaijin was embarrassed because they didn't use it. They removed it from the game. And people kept, like me, kept saying, hey, why aren't you using this map? When they used it exactly one time about 3 years ago in an event, and they've never used it since. It's never been in rotation. It just hasn't been used. It's been available for custom battles. And you could fly on that map in custom battles. And it was actually quite a fun map to fly because it wasn't teeny tiny, itsy bitsy, teeny weeny. It was a big enough map, and it was a great place to test jets. Just like the alternate history Spain map is a great place to test jets. And for those of you that don't like flying long distances and get bored and just can't be bothered, well, you won't like the Moscow map. But the Moscow map was actually very, very good. It had a bunch of stuff spread out all over the map, which means there was no set piece area of fighting. There were 3 different airfields for both sides. So with 3 different airfields, you end up with a much more spread out battlefield. If you have a team, your team can concentrate on an area and pretty much deal with what you want to deal with in that area. If you happen to be a lone ranger, you could find a spot and go blow the hell out of some ground targets. And it was actually quite an individualistic map, which made it a lot of fun. Jesus, AAA is ridiculous on this map. Gotten much stronger. So, we're going to swamp the area. Man, AAA is ridiculous on this map now. Need to go back and land. Well, screw that. I'm not going to waste my time with that. Just take out the other F4G. FJ4B. Blah, 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 blah. Mouth and brain not working together. But the Moscow map has been in the game for a long time and had to have been recently removed in one of the patches. I haven't seen anything that I wanted to test on the map, so I hadn't been looking for it, but it used to be there. Now, if they pulled it out and they rejiggered the map to make it a little bit better, that's great. If they pulled it out to make it smaller, that's not so great. Gaijin has done a horrible job at keeping up with Air Realistic. That's not to say that they haven't put a lot of shinies into the game. They have. They put a lot of shiny new material into the game. And as, one of those shinies, the FJ4B. Beautiful plane. They still got the model completely wrong. Well, not completely, but some of the best parts of the model they've got wrong. And they don't seem inclined at the moment to correct their issues. Now, they may in the future correct their issues. I don't know, don't care at this point. But one of the problems is that they just have literally given up on doing anything as far as gameplay in realistic air battles. This map has the correct formula as far as I'm concerned. However, if you look at this map in total, you have all of this space out here that's not being used for anything. And that's only a portion of the map that you can see when you're in the match. If you actually fly the map, it goes a long ways. And it's a great map. It really is. The Moscow map will be an awesome map if they put it in regular rotation. And another thing that they could do, make a summer map. Or spring or fall or whatever you want to call it. But make a map so that, the rivers aren't frozen so we can have some riverine aircraft or boats. So that we can attack them. Right now we don't have the things that we should be getting in this game. I would love to see some additions made into this game. Why? Because the game deserves it. We, as the players, deserve better. And we haven't been getting better. We've been getting less and less. So, one of the problems that we have in this game is the fact that there's so many tankers. And I'm not saying tankers are the problem. The problem is the lack of development once tanks got into the game, because a huge number of the actual player base moved over to tanks. they are a major source of income for Gaijin. I'm not complaining about that. What I'm complaining about is the complete lack of development in Air Realistic. And they have completely left it alone. Now, you can say, well, yeah, but there's this, that, and the other thing in the game now. Well, this, that, and the other thing in the game doesn't necessarily make it a better game. All the shinies in the world do not polish a turd. And at the moment, this game is starting to stink. I mean, gameplay is essential. If you can have the most beautiful looking game in the world, but if your gameplay is horrible or completely lackluster, then it doesn't matter how beautiful it is. Nobody's going to want to play it. And believe me, I've been playing this game for a long time. And I love this game. I really do love this game. I think it's absolutely spectacular. It is one of the best games out there. And here we go. We're going in for another B-17. Love killing these things. And that's another thing. Gaijin has pulled AI after AI after AI out of their matches. Why? Is there something wrong with the AI? I don't think so. I think the problem is potato players. Now, you might not know what I mean by potato players. Potato players are players that are running on machines that have absolutely no business in modern gaming. And I understand Gaijin wants to keep these players in the game. But it requires more and more resources to run the game when you have large numbers of AI. I don't know how to solve that problem for Gaijin, other than they either need to bite the bullet and say, okay, we're going to basically have to say goodbye to those players. And I'm sure a lot of them are Russian. And I'm sure they're going to take a heck of a load of crap over it. But Gaijin needs to sit down, bite the bullet, and deal with the fact that their game, right, wrong, or indifferent, needs to move forward. And it is getting to the point where, I mean, I had to move forward. For years, I was running on a Q6600 Core 2 quad with 3 gigs of RAM and a 2 gig Radeon card with DDR3 memory. Well, I finally upgraded to an i5 with 16 gigs and a 2 gig uh, GTX 1070 Ti, 750 Ti. Yeah, 1070. I wish I had a 1070. Uh, I mean, it wasn't that expensive. I mean, it's a used computer, uh, and it was a uh, used video card, but still, it was a decent upgrade, and it wasn't an expensive upgrade. And there comes a point when you have to tell your players, listen, we want to keep you, but we can't keep making silly little, we can't keep dumbing the game down for you. So you can either move up in capacity, spend a little money, or we'll see you later. Or make it so that they can only access something like arcade. I don't know. I don't have the answer for this. But at this point, they have got to do something. And not doing anything is really not acceptable. So, do I want to see the Moscow map back in the game? Not put into the game, back into the game. Yes, I do. Do I want to see it put into regular rotation? Yes, I do. Do I want to see another map, Moscow map, made for summer in the game? Yes, I do. Do I want to see other large-scale maps put into this game? Yes, because that's the way forward, especially if we're dealing with late tier, tier 5, and tier 6 soon to come planes. They're too fast for what we currently have in the game. The large-scale maps are the only maps that are acceptable for faster and faster aircraft. I mean, everyone went bananas when the Voiture came out. And why did they go bananas? Because it's so bloody fast. And it was able to deliver its bombs with almost impunity. And then the Voiture A, with its ability to climb, was able to use this map to great success. Come in, bomb a base, maybe even bomb a second base, and then climb up and shoot down B-29s. That was scary. That was scary to a lot of players because they didn't know how to deal with it. Now, the fighter jocks are going to say, I knew how to deal with it. Well, I don't care if you want to show a bunch of bravado. It doesn't matter to me. The fact is, it was a plane capable of doing things that could not be countered. Let's put it like that. And this plane is actually quite capable. It's a fighter bomber. And the sooner everyone realizes it's a fighter bomber, the better. Now, most of you probably don't understand what the distinction is. The F-105, as fast as it was, and believe me, that plane was incredibly fast, the Thunder Chief, the basically the last super fighter built by the Republic Aircraft Corporation, was a fighter bomber. It could sort of hum the tune of being a bomber or a fighter, but it was more akin to being a bomber. This plane is kind of 50-50. It is designed as a fighter bomber from the outset. It's not as maneuverable, it's not as fast, but it carries a wide load of ammunition. I mean, 2 tons of bombs, and I mean imperial tons, is a lot of ordnance. And it's able to deliver that ordnance quite accurately. And when you've got the Marine version, that's what the VMF stands for, Heavier Than Air Marine Fighter. It has the guided missiles. Well, that's great. You've got guided missiles. Air-to-ground missiles, by the way, not anti-aircraft missiles, air-to-air missiles. That's great. But again, gameplay suffers because players have absolutely no idea how to cover other players in the game. Oh, come on. 4,000 pounds of ordnance on target and I only get half of the base? Come on, Gaijin. But this is a good plane. I would say it's a very well balanced plane. It's not a super fighter. It's not a garbage plane. But it is not capable of being the end-all, beat-all. It's not a pure fighter like the CL-13A or the MiG-17 or the Sabre F-40. But it's still a very capable plane. Well, that ended a little bit sooner than I wanted, so this Subdude signing off. Y'all have a pleasant today, a better tomorrow, and we'll catch you in the skies in Air Realistic. And with good luck, Gaijin will bring back the Moscow map, put it in rotation, and maybe they'll get real ambitious and give us a summer map with riverboats to attack on the same type of map. The exact same map, just a summer version. Take care, folks. Subdude signing off. Y'all have a pleasant today. Bye-bye.